In 5, 4.
Which one am I looking at?
This one.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Northeast Unplugged. We got some special guests for you today, and this is our third try at this recording. So they said, you know, it's third's always a charm. So I have with myself this afternoon Rhea and Tara and Matt. Matt's here just because of the bronze, you know, so keep everything in line. They're actually working with the youth of Northeast, and so I got lots of questions. You know, we've run through some of these already, so you should know the answers. But you've just I mean, you've been helping. How long have you been helping with youth? It's a couple of years, maybe more.
It'll be 4 years this
4
summer.
years, oh my goodness, okay. That's amazing. So, I mean, you've been working with youth, but basically, and just in the last maybe few weeks, you've taken it over, right? So, and Stan and Trish were overseeing youth and just kind of handed the reins over. So, great to have you on board with young people of this community in the Northeast region. Let me ask you this, COVID-19 happens, right? And lots of, you know, I think there's lots of residuals of fear already still in the population of people, but I mean, it's a real thing. It shuts everything down. Youth ministry is kaput. It's done. So what do you do to keep it going? I mean, you know, lots of churches went through a lot of things they weren't, you know. Yeah, go ahead. She's handing it to you because, yeah, feed you that one.
Take it away, Ray.
So, Rhea, yeah, tell us a bit, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, everything, like you said, everything kind of just stopped, and then we had to get creative and figure out, like, how are we going to reach the kids? And of course, with the world we live in right now, there's lots of technology, so we decided to utilize that. So we hopped on Zoom.
So what is that, a car, or what is it?
It's a video call.
Oh, video call.
Yeah, with these kids, and it was good at first.
At first.
It fizzled out after a little bit.
So you have to learn to adapt, right?
Yeah.
If something's not working, what else did you use?
We used Instagram, uploaded some videos on there for them to
So, okay, for
watch.
dinosaurs like me, what is Instagram?
Instagram is, you can post pictures and videos,
Okay.
mainly. I think mostly it's just
And
quotes.
do you have a group, like people, like, I know how Facebook works, right? Followers? Okay.
Followers, yeah.
Not friends, followers.
No,
It's kind of more
followers.
Christian, followers. Yeah.
Yeah, they can follow us on there and watch the videos that we post on
good.
there. And
So did you find that was working better than Zoom?
yeah, a little bit, because
Okay.
we could kind of see who was watching and who,
Oh.
and just really getting the word to them and out there,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, being able to reach them that way.
Okay.
There's other things, but Tara
Yeah.
can talk about them.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so, you know, our first service back was last Sunday. That's 3 months. You know, we've been out of touch, so I'm sure some of these young people were out of touch with friends and, you know, people who were important in their life, like you three. I know your husband's working today, so he couldn't be here. But isolation it can be deadly, right? You know, and so did you recognize any anxiety or isolation in some of the young people, and you could tell that you need to reach out more to certain ones? And
Yeah, actually having a history of isolating myself years ago, I recognized right away that this was going to be a really bad combination. But when we started phone calling, like having phone calling, I don't know how to say it anymore, but calling these youth, we really noticed that they wanted to talk. That was the only place that we were actually having them interact with us. But they were voicing that they were pretty lonely.
Right.
And being still at home with family, yes, but there's something different about people outside of your household. And, you know, fair enough, some of these kids' parents still did work a little bit, right? So if they, some of them were at home alone too.
Yeah. So, Matt, you know, in the process of seeing all this, what have you felt about this whole COVID thing with the young people? And so now things are coming more into focus, right? So you're able to have a youth night, right? Social distancing, all that kind of stuff. And just kind of speak into that a bit, maybe.
Okay, well, yeah, Friday was our first day back, opening it back up with specific regulations involved. But it was really nice to see the youth coming back, and a lot of them, you could really tell that, you know, some of them took the time to get into the Word, and it was nice to see because the ones that did get into the Word were, you could see change in them, right? And, you know, with a lot more vocal, a lot, you know, good conversations, and everyone was, you know, everyone was affected in one way or another.
Right.
So
right. You find there was an awkwardness getting back together after 3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was even awkward. Being a social butterfly, it was kind of really hard because we hug and, you know, we greet, we shake hands, joke around, you know, youth, they wrestle, but there was none of that. So there was, you could tell that they knew that it wasn't allowed. And yeah, it was really weird. But yeah, I'll let Rhea hit on that more because she really recognized it.
It was just so awkward because it's like we haven't done anything like that for 3 months, and it's like seeing other people's faces again. It's just like, and then I was almost like, okay, what do we do at youth again? What happens here again? Like, why are we here? Why are we sitting in a circle? What's happening? And it was just, like the communication too. It's like they haven't had that with people their age, and it's just like, now what? Like what's happening? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is almost live. Oh my goodness. Decline. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just toss that over there. Yeah. If it was live, we wouldn't be able to fix that, but
That thing kept us connected.
yeah, it did keep you connected. That's a good jump off. Okay, so 3 months is a long time. You know, I was talking to someone just today, and they said with learning, when children are off school for 2 months, it's like not learning for 5 months. And so what we have is 3 months of isolation, plus 2 months of summer. That's like 10 months of.
That's a school year.
Yeah, it's like a school year, and so you know, I think they talk about the second wave. I think the second wave is already on us, is because we're seeing some of the stresses that young people are picking up. You know, like they're carrying some stresses in life that really they shouldn't have to, and so. Maybe let the people know kind of, you know, where we're kind of aiming for, you know, in the next little while. Like I heard you discussing today a bit about, you know, some of the things you're going to be doing this summer, and I think those things are pretty key and pretty important, right? And so can you kind of give them, you know, kind of a snapshot of, yeah, did you get that far? Or? Yeah, I'll do that.
well, plans, you know, like they're always in the works, right? So we're Tara and Rhea here, they do most of the planning. Like you said at the beginning, I'm mostly here for my looks, but so they do most of the planning, but we want to get the kids into the Bible. We want to get them into the Word. That's definitely our overall goal,
Right.
But in doing so, we also want to make sure that they're enjoying it
Mm-hmm.
doing so, right? And sometimes that involves games and
Right.
Events.
Breaking the ice. and
Breaking the ice,
Yeah.
yeah. There's we'd like to get, some trips happening and, maybe some camping trips, some overnighters, or just in general lessons, I guess. And
So
making-
an overnighter, where give me a place that would be your perfect place to take youth for an overnighter.
Wilderness camp would be
yeah.
one that we were really thinking
Okay,
about. Yeah.
just north of Nipawin.
Yeah. Just north of Nipawin, there's a wilderness camp.
Yeah,
there.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is
Good
beautiful.
fishing there too.
They've gone there. They went for a weekend away. Well, some of them, anyways, for Alpha.
Right.
But it was something they really loved, and we really want to hone in on that
Oh,
because
good.
yeah.
Anything else?
Well, one of the other things was building relationships was one of the other things that we were really thinking we should be focusing on, because a lot of these kids made connections in youth group but didn't keep the connections outside of youth group. And
So you found that coming back that there wasn't that connectivity.
yeah.
Okay.
And whereas some of our youth, this is where they have friends.
Yeah.
And we've always wanted that to be a place that was for everybody. You might not all like each other at school, but you're going to like each other here
Yeah.
and work with each other. And this is how these kids are learning to work with people in the world, right? And one of the things was they were alone. They didn't have anybody to call. Some of them didn't have friends to call at all. And I think youth group is part of that. That
Right.
fills that gap.
Yeah. Do you think that a lot of young people, there's a social awkwardness, especially in this generation? They don't, because they've been so in contact with their phone or their tablets or whatever, the face-to-face is sometimes awkward with them, right? So how are you going to break that, Rhea? How are you going to break that down?
Oof.
I mean, it's something that, it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
But like what in an earlier taping we had, I heard you all say this, that there was this awkwardness.
Yeah.
And so somehow, I believe, God will give you the tools, but have you got any insight on that?
Well, like Matt said, we do, try to make things fun, and some games will kind of help with that. But I think the one thing that I enjoy anyway is our small groups, is just giving them that space to be open, and knowing that it's safe to.
Right. Okay,
To
small
talk.
groups. There's young people out there, they haven't come to church or anything like this. What are you talking about, small groups? What is that?
Small groups is when, there's lots of people in youth group, and we break into
Smaller groups.
smaller groups, and we discuss, we have questions, they can ask questions, we discuss the word,
Right.
and we read through scriptures. Sometimes we'll go through studies. Tara's really good looking at those.
Okay.
And just really studying the Word of God
Right.
and being able to discuss it without fear of being judged,
Right.
without fear of just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, doing a lot of, they watch us do things, right? And sometimes we never give them an opportunity to do them themselves, right? So you did something a while back. There was a split, girls and guys split, and Matt, you were doing. I remember walking in, and you guys were in the back in the ministry center in the garage, and you were.
Yeah, so that day we had the boy and girls had split up, and one of the things.
So the girls were painting their nails in the.
Yeah,
Is that true?
I believe that's what happened. There's something on
I was
that
just throwing
line.
that out, but
Yeah,
now I'm a prophet.
there's a few, yeah. And the boys, we took advantage of the shop we have here and brought in one of the vans and just gave them hands-on lessons of generic vehicle maintenance, right?
Right.
When they grow up, they're going to have vehicles, and you have to be able to maintenance your
Yeah.
vehicle, which a lot of people haven't had that opportunity to learn. right from, you know, what kind of oils do we have in our vehicles and what all needs maintenance and what doesn't, to changing a tire. A lot of them had no idea that you had everything in a vehicle to change a tire, right? So we made them, you know, find all those things in the vehicle, and when they didn't have an answer, we made them go to the Bible, or sorry,
To the manual.
to the manual.
The Bible is the
right?
manual, yeah. Okay.
Right, which is, you know,
That's good.
will give us the
Yeah,
answers.
that's right.
And that,
The vehicle has a manual, and we have a manual.
Yes,
exactly.
Right? Isn't that
Yes,
cool?
we do. Yes.
So you know, I came in and I could tell they were pretty pumped about what had happened.
yeah, there's a lot of hands-on, and they were, I think everybody had positive out of it. We even had, I think each of the leaders that were there as well,
Yeah.
and the men, all learned something as well,
Oh, good.
right? So, you know, we hopefully never stop learning.
Yeah.
And it was a good opportunity for the kids to see that nobody has all the answers,
Right.
but combined, working together, we're so much stronger.
Yeah, we are. We
Yeah.
are. So you're going to have a grade 6 welcome or something. Is that
Yeah.
happening? So explain a bit about that. So youth runs
You wanna do
from
this
grades. Youth is what, grade 7 to 12, roughly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the grade 6ers, they've graduated. They're coming. They're going to come into youth, but you have a welcoming night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Is it going to be like fantastic?
well, how much do I give away? I think it's going to be fantastic. There's
Every
a
youth
lot
night
of
is
games.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, every youth and his family.
Every
Good,
youth.
good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have lots of games planned and lots of things to build, not to build, but just to know and get to know each other.
Relational building.
Yeah, relational building. But we do have one thing. I don't know if I'm allowed to slip it or what.
Well,
but
no, if it's a surprise, don't let it
Yeah,
go.
it's
Don't let the
gonna be
cat out of
fun.
the bag.
You don't want to miss, because if you have an opportunity
Yeah.
for this, you're going to
It's
like
always good to kind of,
it. Yeah.
you want to know what it is, you got to come, right?
You got to show up.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so we're excited. So usually in the spring when the kids are, you know, planning for grade 7, we end up inviting them a little early so
Okay.
they get to be with us through the summer.
Do you know the date of this one?
It's the 26th.
26th.
Yeah.
26th.
At
June 26th.
7:30.
So that's
Yeah.
like next week.
next
Yeah.
week, yeah.
Wow. Great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be good. And we usually have quite a few numbers that do come out.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's food there too.
Well, because of
COVID.
certain things, yeah. So
Like, I mean, they're all
They'll have
bringing
some
their
pre-packed
own. They're all
snacks.
bringing their own stuff. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
bring whatever's in your
Okay.
kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking actually forgetting about COVID, right? But yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I did
Things
too.
have changed.
Because usually
Yeah.
we do kind of like a wiener roast or a barbecue,
Right.
but that
Yeah.
can't happen right now.
Yeah, it's different. We can't even hand out bulletins or nothing, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah. Have
But
to
we are thinking of care packages for the new.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
make
to
up for that.
welcome them in. And, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, what other plans? Mission trip next February
Yeah.
to
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Are you going to study up on your Spanish? Espanol? Hable español?
I can understand, but I can't speak it. Which is
Yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yes.
know some words, but yeah. No, Guatemala, that's going to be awesome. I think.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to just go somewhere, another country, to just serve
Yeah.
and see the culture and just see a different point of view of
Right.
life.
Right.
And for them, for the youth to get to do that at where they're at, their age, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have any of you been on mission trips?
No.
No.
I've only gone to Pelican.
Pelican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a mission trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forward to it.
And one of the things about going to missions is that when some of the countries you go to, there's such a hunger for God, and it's something that we don't really readily see here in North America. But it definitely is an opportunity for them. And I would say too about missions. It's not about the finances, is about the calling. And because I'm sure if the heart is there and they answer the call and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, they'll get there. You know, because a lot of times people want to make it about the money, right? Well, I can't, you know, and they throw their arms up and say, I can't do it. But
Well, there was one thing, just looking at some of the footage from the Guatemala trip that some of our partnering churches went to last year, through the same, which is
Faviva.
Faviva.
Yeah.
There was pictures of people standing that weren't, which I would have seen as not ready to go into the crusades, but they had crusades and there were people on the sides outside of the fencing, and they watched and they were listening, and that was something that really had touched me, because there's even people listening outside of that. It's not just the people that
Absolutely.
are willing to attend that. Yeah. So there's a hunger growing, you can see out there, and and people, whether they're even engulfed in it or
Yeah. Matt, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to hit a little bit on the finance aspect of it. There's, right now with COVID, it's kind of put a halt on a lot of things, but often with the youth, a lot of the events we have come from fundraisers and such, which helps the youth as well, because if they participate in the fundraisers we're doing, it actually helps them with mission trips. It banks out. Banks, like, they don't physically get paid for it.
But it'll bank finances for them for those purposes.
Correct, yeah. So, which helps them out quite a bit
For sure.
on trips and stuff,
You know, when I was a youth pastor, seems like 100 years ago, but we had young people who normally at 16 would be saving money for a car. They were saving money for a mission trip because it just meant that much to them. And they put aside their dreams and aspirations for themselves and actually did something for God. And it's a wonderful thing to teach them to put others first before themselves, and because a lot of times we just focus on ourselves, right? And we become very selfish and, you know, insulated to ourselves. But it's going to be wonderful for them, and they'll learn. They'll grow from the experience. And my saying is this: is if you go with a willingness to just serve, you'll be blessed beyond anything.
Well, and one of the things that we recognized too was some of the things that really the youth had taken away from in the 4 years that I've been here were the outreaches, like out to Saskatoon, the Pelican Mission. Those are things.
Thursday night barbecues that we
Thursday
helped at City Center Church.
Those are the things that they still talk about, and I remember just it being
because
one
you know
of the
all
best.
the other stuff. It's
schemes, it's events,
but it's nothing impacting, right? Those things impact them.
Yeah, and caring for people, it is impactful. Like you carry that with you for the rest of your life.
Because we're in a kind of a crazy place, you know, as a world with, you know, the whole thing with George Floyd and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into that today, but it's important for young people to understand, you know, to have kind of sensitivity to the world around them, you know, and there's a lot of hurting people out there, and they may even be part of that, you know, and part of the problem or part of the solution, right? But so, you know, for youth ministry, did any of you grow up in a church with youth ministry or anything like that, or Rhea?
I was here.
Okay, so did it help you or not? Like, I mean, that's a loaded question, right? You better say the right thing, you know, or no. But
it did. I think if it didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I just feel like ever since I went into grade 7, I've been in youth group since then till now. Like, it's just been my life, and it's like I feel like I've just never left. And it's where, you know, there were times where I didn't really had the place where I didn't know where to get fed with the word and just and that, and I'm sure there's church, but it's different being around other people that are my
Yeah.
age and seeking that too.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's definitely changed my life. Yeah, youth has just been there for me forever.
Yeah.
And I grew up in it. Now helping in it, it's like, okay, I know some things that I would have loved to have.
Yeah.
And yeah, just
Yeah.
knowing that now.
Yeah, you're well, and all of you are like this, but you know, I'm just saying, I believe you're all really bridge builders. You know, you're building bridges to generations, right? And you know, a lot of these young people will look back on these years and either with fondness or with heartache. And you guys are doing really good things, a lot of great things. And why don't you? What's one thing on your heart for young people, and talk to them directly and encourage them, you know, today? Each one of you take a moment for that. So just look in that camera.
I just want to encourage you all that you're not alone in any of this. You've always got someone to talk to come to, where we as a church, as youth leaders here, you can come and talk to us. There's room for everyone, and there's many ways of, you know, giving. So just come and participate and join our family.
Well, one of the things that I would really say to you is not to be in fear of so much of a group, of youth group or whatever, but even to give it a chance. If you're not already coming, give it a chance. But during this time, I really recognize that our foundation needs to be built on the Word. And the only way to do that is to really work with your community. You know, iron sharpens iron. That means we sharpen each other. And when we start learning the Word, that is how we are going to learn to have a strong foundation, is working with one another. And so that would be one of my things. So I would just say, you know, take the leap of faith. If you had questions about the Bible, we don't have all the answers, but we would love to work with you on the answers, and we love learning alongside you as well. But yeah, just to take that, because there's probably a few of you that have been really wanting to discover the Bible, but even just open it up today. And then if you have questions, we're here for you. And yeah, so that's what.
I think there's many things, but the one thing is that we're here for you guys to help you find and grow what God created you for, and grow into that. And you can never ever do that alone. You can't ever just, you know, figure that out by yourself. And we're here for you as a family. We're here for you to guide you, to help you, and to be even just your friends. So yeah, that's the one thing in my heart. And just come, and we want to build the relationships with you guys. So yeah.
Introverts, extroverts, all welcome.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Ray, do you want to pray and just, you know, I know you kind of remember the three things there, but just pray into this. And
Okay.
yeah, let's just take a moment and just pray for the youth.
Well, Father, I thank you for the youth. Thank you that they are the future, that they will carry your word into generations. And God, I pray that, you know, when they feel alone, that they would know that we're here, God, and that they would know that you are there with them too, and that they would reach out to us, and that they'd know that it's safe, Lord. And I thank you that you're stirring up a hunger in their hearts right now for your word. You're stirring up a hunger for each and every one of them to just get to know you more, for your presence, God. And God, I thank you that youth group and youth ministry isn't just about the games and the fun, but God, I thank you that you're showing us that it's more than that. You're showing us that it's about the relationships and the friendships that we can make, God, and it's ultimately about you, and that we would seek you, God, and that this is a place to do that. This is a place to learn. This is a place to just learn more about you, God, and get to know you more, and to be with brothers and sisters in Christ, God. And God, I thank you that you've created each and every youth for a purpose, for a greater purpose, God. And God, I pray that you would just show them whatever it may be for them, God, and that you would give us, Lord, the discernment to see that, God, and to help them and guide them in that too, Lord. And I just thank you for that, and I lift your name up in all of this in Jesus' name.
Amen. Anything to add? Anyone?
We miss you. Come back.
Yes.
We only had a few of you here, and we'd love to see you all.
Yeah.
We really, really do miss you. And yeah, you might have only been here a couple times, but we do miss you, and
Yeah.
we're concerned about you. And
But you had to put out more chairs on Friday, which was a good sign,
Yes,
right? So that's
yeah,
always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
invite
really
your
good.
friends, yeah.
Invite your friends, yeah.
And invite your friends, yes.
Yeah.
And so we're back
Yeah.
on Fridays for this month, and then through the summer we'll be
hmm
here on Wednesdays.
So if the youth need to get a hold of you, they know how to do that, or is this going to be at the bottom?
Our numbers are right here.
Okay. As we're closing, yes, yeah. So is there a name to this youth group, or
A fired up youth.
Fired Up Youth?
Yeah.
Blanked for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
No, me too.
F-U-Y.
Yeah.
F-U-Y. Okay.
Yeah.
Fired Up Youth. I had to think that one through.
Yeah, I never even
Okay.
thought of that one.
Well, great having you on.
Thank you.
Next time, maybe we can get Rick in here. And
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you for watching Northeast Unplugged. You got any comments? Make sure you drop us a line. Numbers are at the bottom of the screen. You can call them, text them, and tell them that you want to go for a Coke now that McDonald's and A&W is open and stuff. So yeah. So God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have a couple tapings next week, and I have some other things. As we were meeting today, I was thinking, we need to do, I got some good ideas. Yeah, so this is good. So God bless you. Thank you for watching Northeast Unplugged. Till next week, see you again.